Mepham, welcome to this week's Midweek Update.
Hi Mepham, and welcome back to the Midweek Update.
Today, let's look at what some B&Bers created during the STN convention and a vlog that one of our seniors made.
This and more as we check on what's going on this week on Midweek Update. I'm Marr.
And I'm Anthony Hoffman, and welcome back to this Midweek Update, the B&B show that brings you closer to the people and places around the Mepham community.
I had so much fun participating in those events.
Everything came out great.
If you don't remember from last week, here's a little reminder about what exactly STN is.
STN is a student television network. It's a national organization of high school broadcasting programs, and at the beginning of break, there was a convention where over 2,200 student broadcasters took place in sessions and competitions.
I can't wait for you to see today's submissions.
Me too. Enough talking about it, and let's just show you it instead.
The second day of the convention, the majority of the team helped out with the movie trailer category.
Some even went back to their houses to get props and costumes.
But the whole production of it could not have happened without the leadership of Luke Melfa.
It has a whole Wild West theme, and it came out amazing.
Anthony, enough with the suspense already. Can we just show them?
All right. Let's show them.
You got a name?
I do.
I'm Isabel.
Johnny.
So, where are you heading up to?
Wherever I fit, I guess.
That's a really weird way to say geometry. So, why did you come here?
Trying to make amends, I guess.
So, you're just running away?
You could say that, yeah.
You think this is over? Funny. I promise you it's not that easy.
That's probably not good.
Do you know Johnny?
You could say it.
Hey, there's this guy I met earlier. I think you may know him?
So you're just gonna run away?
No. It ain't over.
Thanks, guys. I can't believe how professional looking the finished product came out.
I would have loved to see what it was like behind the scenes. Someone should have vlogged about it.
You know who made vlogs this past month? The senior class.
Let's toss it over to Manno to see what it was all about.
Thanks, Anthony. It's my pleasure to introduce this next segment for you. During the month of February, one of the projects the seniors in B&B were tasked with was to create a vlog using the prompt, if they could travel anywhere, where would they go? The last video like this that you got to see here was Ava's January submission about how her Christmas went. These are my favorite kinds of assignments because it lets the students showcase their own creativity. Now it's time to take a look at Luke Melfa's vlog.
Good evening and welcome. The question that was most recently asked to me was, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Now, I'm not one for specifics. Frankly, I like a sense of adventure, but if I had to give one answer, it would have to be, are you familiar with the American actor Charlie Sheen? Now, I know what you're thinking. Of course I know Charlie Sheen. Who doesn't know hit American actor from the movie The Wall Street, Charlie Sheen? Well, mind you, Mr. Sheen just so happens to be 5'10". Now, that may not mean much to you, but it means a lot to me. See, I am not 5'10". In fact, I am a few inches below 5'10". Now, if you wouldn't mind putting the pieces together. My point being, I would like to invade Charlie Sheen's personal abode and take his legs. Thank you.
Thanks, Luke. I guess I'll have to check back with you and Charlie Sheen soon. Stay tuned. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Amanda and Luke. I'm not completely sure what was happening, but it was very good.
And so are the STN submissions. Again, is there any behind-the-scene footage of it?
Don't worry, Anthony. You can see some behind the scenes on last week's Midweek Update, morning announcements, and on the STN Update Day 2 episode on the B&B YouTube channel.
Thank goodness. I was so worried. Another thing that you can see is just a little bit different than the movie trailer.
A little different?
Yep. The Manno brothers took on the task of creating something in the sports commentary category.
Well, that could not be more perfect for them. Being brothers and all, they must probably have good communication with each other.
Plus, this is what they both know best.
Take it away, Manno brothers.
Picture this. Your team is on the brink of history. One win away from a chance to play in the biggest game in all of American pro sports, the Super Bowl. But you watch helplessly as your team's battered and broken defense gets pushed around, giving up the final touchdown to send their opponent to the big game, all because a simple coin flip didn't go their way. Sorry, Buffalo. From a Patriots fan, I feel your pain. But how infuriating would that be? How different would history be if both teams just got a chance? There's a chance that Tom Brady might only have 6 or even 5 rings. It's clear from a fan's perspective that OT rules need to change. Don't believe me? Let's see what Jake Manno thinks.
Thanks, Matt. It's obvious that the biggest moment of the season shouldn't come down to the flip of a coin. 10 out of every 11 teams who won the coin toss won the game, and most didn't even give the other team a chance. Not even the players like it, but overall, it's actually somewhat fair, as only a slight majority of teams who won the coin toss won the game. It's just something to think about. Now let's send it back to the lesser Manno.
Thanks, Jake. You're a funny guy. So what should the NFL do? I actually would keep the OT rules in the regular season to protect the players, but in the playoffs, both teams need a turn. I say 1 drive each of normal football, and if we're still tied, each team gets 1 drive from midfield until there's a winner, like in college. But why the 50? Because this is the NFL, and points are earned, not given. NFL, it's your move. For STN, I'm Matt Manno.
And I'm Jake Manno.
Reporting.
That was awesome.
I think both groups should have at least gotten an honorable mention.
I couldn't agree more. I know how much you loved hearing from Jake Manno.
Yeah, but why do you mention that?
Because here's Jake Manno again, but this week with your midweek in Mepham Sports.
Thanks, Ryan. Over the weekend, the kickline team was competing in Nashville, where they placed 4th in large varsity team, 4th in large varsity kick, and 5th in large varsity palm. Great job, girls, and congrats on all your success. While on the topic of Mepham's successful athletes, our Lady Pirates have been shining, where Yana Fufus won stage for a weight class during the first ever girls wrestling tournament in New York, where now she starts to prepare for Nashville tournament on April 8th, along with Talia Roblins winning in 2nd place in her weight class. Keeping the streak going, track star Cameron Blake placed 2nd in the New York State Champions in the 55-meter hurdles. So congrats to her as she gets ready for with the rest of her team for the spring season. Speaking of the spring season, the softball and baseball teams start preparation for the season and have started batting cage practices for the tryouts next week. Badminton is starting up again after their undefeated season last year. And lastly, lacrosse is already outside on the field getting ready for their tryouts also next week. That's all for this midweek. As always, I've been the better Manno. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jake. I'm happy to hear that sports are coming back as we are getting in closer to the spring season.
More for us to cover, but there is also stuff to watch here on B&B.
Including the robotics tournament last Saturday. It was so much fun teaming up with Cougar TV again and getting to work with the Calhoun Media Club.
It was definitely a learning experience for all of us.
Well, that's it for this week's episode of Midweek Update. We'll be back next week for all new stories from around the BMC HSD to bring you inside of the parts of the community that we don't always get to see.
Until then, I'm Ryan Marr.
And I'm Anthony Hoffman. And we'll see you all next week.